these days present, that we would be still in captivity speaking the tongue of our captors. And if this was written in Hebrew, none of us would understand it. So that's why he had King James do that. Put those 56 scholars together and had them write this out of Greek and Aramaic and Hebrew into English, so that when the children of God, the nation of Israel, started waking up as to who they were, they would be able to read their own history and their own God and their own father and their own family and their own nation. See, so that's why, you know, the lies were put out there about King James. But King James wasn't no homosexual. He wasn't no pedophile. He was a so-called Israelite. He was an Israelite, a so-called black man. You know, a lot of people, listen, I could go out here right now and say something frivolous like, well, T.D. Jakes is a faggot. Right? And a lot of people will probably believe it. And you know how fast a lie goes around the world, man? 10 times faster than the truth will ever get out the gate. And that's a fact. That's a fact.
So is you saying Hebrew Israelite is your nationality?
I'm an Israelite, yes. Hebrew Israelite. Our national tongue is Hebrew, and our nationality is Israelite. We are from the nation of Israel. So those people over in Israel today, those people don't belong to us. Those are Esau, man. Those are Edomites, man.
They're not the Jews.
They're not the real Jews. God speaks about them in the Bible.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
Ashkenazi. Yeah, and check this out. If you go and read who Ashkenazis came from, if you read down in the book of 36, go to Genesis 36. I'm gonna show you who they came from. See, this is how this book is so succinct. You can't get around this. Read. This is the Esau, Edomite, right? Started from one and read down. I'm gonna show you where Ashkenazi came and Amalek came from. You know, because that's what they call themselves, Amalekites, right? Amalek. You know, it used to be a slur against them when you say a kite. Remember? Long time ago, Jewish people used to say, man, you insult me, you call me a kite. That was because it was Amalekites. They didn't want nobody to realize who they were. Read that. Listen to this, bro.
Genesis chapter 36 from the top.
Listen.
Now these are the generations of Esau.
This is the generations of Esau, the father of Edom.
Who is Edom? Esau took his wives of the daughter.
Read down 4 or 5 verses down below. When you start saying he begat this, begat that.
Okay. And Alba bare to Esau Eliphaz.
Come on. That's right.
And Beshemoth bare Ruel.
Come on.
And Alabima bare Jeshua.
Come on.
And Jalem and Kor. And these are the sons of Esau.
Come on.
Which were born unto him in the land of Canaan.
Come on.
And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house.
Look down there and show me where it's Amalek and Ashkenaz and Kenaz. Because that's where they came from. They came from Esau, Edom. Their genealogy is right here. Come on. Oh yeah, he had a lot of them because he was marrying into them African nations, trying to get some color. That's what he was trying to do.
Let me ask you something. Why,
sure.
Why when Edomites get stinky, why they smell like dog?
Vinegar.
Animals.
Vinegar.
That's a good question, man.
Can I ask that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Scientists said that this from their leading scientists that their hair is equivalent to wolf hair.
Listen to this. You know, there used to be a story about 2 brothers. They were called Romulus and Remus. These were the 2 brothers that came out of the Roman Empire. What happened was when they first were born, they were so abhorrent because they had no coat of color. They had no color, no melanin. They were ran out of the tribe up into the mountains, right? Up into the Caucasus Mountains. These 2 brothers, Romulus and Remus, the story goes that they...
Raised by wolves, right?
Raised by wolves. Thus this brother saying that the scientists said that their hair is more akin to a wolf's hair than it is to a human's hair. It's not hair, it's fur.
Monkey DNA.
Monkey DNA. Yeah. And understand something, man. What we have is hair. What they have is fur. That's not hair. That's fur. If you look at any animal on this earth, their hair, what they call hair, does the same thing to animals.
So was it an experiment?
No. It was no experiment. And I know where you're going with that. That this was the experiment
that doctor from back in the day, that doctor that was
but no, because if that was true, then it makes God a lie. God said he created
How do you get DNA from an animal into.
When you cohabitate with them, why won't you? Listen, listen, bro. Listen. You know right now that they have genetically incorporated animals' genetics with humans.
Yes.
They did it with a monkey. They took the genes out of a human brain and injected it into a monkey to see if this monkey would start developing reasoning like a human. The same thing, listen, you've heard them doing genetic modification with lions and tigers, right?
Yeah.
Ligers,
Yeah.
right? If you lie with something, you know how you can tell if a person. Some people say that you look like your dog because your dog is around you all this time. And people start to look like their dog, they have long nose like a dachshund or something like that. Well, it's the same thing with them. If you cohabitate with something, and you understand, they don't have a problem cohabitating intimately with animals. They're known for doing that.
Yes, sir.
They know.
Bestiality.
Huh? Bestiality, yeah, that's why God said it's an abomination to him, because he knows that is a characteristic of the Edomites. That is a characteristic of them. That ain't nothing that's indemnity to us. Our people that do that kind of stuff out here doing this homosexual stuff, that's a learned thing that we do. And our people that do it, they're only being pulled away by the doctrines of the nation that we're captive under. That's all it is.
So do you believe we was taken from somewhere else and brought over here?
Who? Yeah, you talking about?
Oh, well, we were always here.
No. Listen. My people, listen. You know the American Indian is, right?
Yeah, we were always here.
No, I'm asking you, who do they say is the American Indian?
Us. It's us.
Bro, let me ask you this question again. I want you to listen to what I'm asking. Who do they say is the American Indian, recognized American Indians in this country?
Me? The ones who got the casinos.
Huh?
The ones who have the casinos.
Right. The ones in the Midwest, Arizona, Utah, Montana, places like that, right? You know those ain't the real natives here?
I know.
You're looking at a real native. This land right here, we used to call it Anacostan. I belong to the Algonquin Nation. I am actually an Anacostan native. My people were here before Columbus came here.
Yeah.
My people were the first ones. When Columbus landed his ship, he didn't land his ships in the daggone middle of the desert, in Utah, Arizona, Montana, Colorado, places like that. He landed his ships along the northeastern seaboard, all the way from Canada, all the way down to the tip of Florida. And the people that he ran into looked just like me, because these were my people that was here. Listen, there's a book written in the early 1600s. It's called America. The latest and most accurate description of the New World. And in this book, it's hard to read because it's written, but the S's look like F's and stuff like that. But it tells you, in that book, there are ship logs of people like Columbus, Cortez, Amerigo Vespucci, Magellan. All their ship logs in this book, and guess who they recorded that they ran into when they came here? People look like me.
The copper color.
Copper color with conical hair.
All you gotta do is read the Noah's Ark Dictionary of 1828.
Exactly. So you know, we've been under the disillusion of a lot of lies, because they passed off those people that are in the Midwest. They are actually from Alaska. They're called Inuits. I-N-U-I-T-S. They're not the original people here. My people are. They look just like me, the real natives of this land. We were all up and down here. You dig what I'm saying? So the reason why they had to disavow us is because, remember what they did with the people in the Midwest. They one time recognized them as the 8 civilized tribes, right? And they gave them land back, right? Because they said, well, they had a sovereign nation claim, right? Now, when they landed their ships in the early 1400s, because they started coming here in 1442, not 1492, they were here 50 years before then. When they first came here and started landing their ships, the first people that they encroached upon were people that looked like me.
The Papal Bull of 1452.
Huh?
The Papal Bull of 1452. Them diverses.
Say that again.
The Papal Bull of 1452.
Yeah.
Them diverses.
Yeah, but check this out. She had a question. Oh, okay, but check this out. Now, The reason why they only recognize people like Cochise, Geronimo, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, and all them is because they know that those ain't the real ones. But listen, the only value that those desert places had
I
was...
heard that Geronimo was us.
No, Geronimo was actually, no, he really wasn't one of us. No, Geronimo wasn't one of us. He said I knew it too. All you gotta do is look at their hair, man. You know that he ain't one of us. Them guys, listen, none of the Spaniards that came here exploring, or what they call exploring, invading, none of them knew about them cats until the mid-1700s when they discovered gold in the Midwest. That's the only reason they went there. But 300-400 years prior to that, they were running into people like who looked like me, you, him, and they were killing us and cutting our hands off and murdering. Yeah, they were creating genocide against us. So understand something. They couldn't give us sovereign claim because understand, the land that they took first when they got here, what was the first colony established? Right there in Virginia, right?
Jamestown.
Right there in Virginia. Next colony was established right here in Maryland. Now, all the land that they stole, that they took, it belonged to the people that were here. It was people that looked like me and you, right? But they couldn't give us sovereign claim to it because if they had to give the land back to those guys in the Midwest after they took all the gold out there because there wasn't nothing else there, they said, ain't no problem. You can have that desert place back. But if they had to recognize us as sovereign nation and give us our land back, they have to give us everything from Canada all the way down past the tip of Florida.
Where you? The people need a nationality.
Huh?
The people need a nationality.
Listen, do you know our history, how we got here is in the Bible? How our people got here.
Got it. You talking about on this land?
How we got here on this land.
We've been here.
No, it's in the Bible.
Since the beginning we've been here.
What's that? Second,
You talking about we got more from over there to here?
No. I ain't talking about the slave, the people that came here in 1619. I'm talking about how we got here after our captivity in Assyria. It's in the Bible, man. It's recorded in the Bible. Give me. No. We came here. We came to a, listen, bro.
It's older purpose here than it is over there.
Understand this. I'm trying to show you how we got here. We had to come from somewhere. We came from somewhere. Listen to this.
It's a book of Apocrypha. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40.
Listen.
Those are the 10 tribes.
The 10 tribes that came after the Assyrian captivity. Right. The first 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, those are the southern kingdom. The other ones are the northern kingdom. We went into captivity in, I think it was 732 BC. We went
738 to 7.
Yeah, we went into captivity under Assyria. After, he's going to read you the history of how we came here when nobody had ever been here before. Come on.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40.
Listen.
Those are the 10 tribes.
Those 10 tribes, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Zebulon, all them brothers, come on.
Which were carried away prisoners.
We got carried to captivity in, go ahead.
Out of their own land.
Out of our land in Israel, come on.
In the time of Hosea the king.
Hosea the king had us in captivity, come on.
Whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria,
come on,
led away.
Shalmaneser took us to the Assyrian captivity, come on.
Led away captive, and he carried them over the water.
He carried us from where we were back across the water of that Red Sea, back over to where Assyria is. Come on.
And so they into another land.
Come on.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
Now the Israelites, every time we went into captivity, it was forbidden for us to observe our God. It was told us, you under penalty of death, you cannot hold your high holy days. You can't use your natural tongue. You can't, use your Levitical law as far as your eating habits are concerned. Because there's certain things we can't eat.
You're not supposed to eat meat at all.
Right, but go ahead, read.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So our leaders in those 10 tribes got together and said, listen, man, we got to observe our God, because every time we disobey God, we go into this captivity. So we need to get away from here so we can observe our God's laws, commandments, and statutes. Go ahead.
And go forth into a further country.
And we went forth into a further country. Come on.
where never mankind dwelt,
Where nobody had ever been before. We came here. Come on, listen.
that they might keep their statutes,
That we could go ahead and keep the laws, commandments, laws of God. Come on.
which they never kept in their own land.
Which we weren't allowed to keep under captivity. Come on.